can,
Mm-hmm.
but you can always. Yes.
And delegation, you said 5 minutes, but I think in the teacher. And
The new one that you're gonna pass.
Yeah.
Can I, come on? Okay,
Is that okay?
I should, I'm just gonna go check on my phone now.
is it a Stephen? Or
Do we have it needed?
No, I don't have us needed, no.
you got someone in the office that can go there.
Kim
Oh,
Heiners, yeah. Yeah, and then Roxanne Anderson is replacing Kim, and they've hired on replace Roxanne.
and Maya's doing that.
Yeah, but she's only there for maternity leave, and then she's going off to school next September.
I'm currently trying something new, so we can live streams of me doing all this other stuff in between, so just double checking it's working. Oh yeah, okay, we're working, we're doing good, all right.
Okay, so we're just gonna go start.
No, this one's done, this is just a reminder, we already started.
Okay, all yours.
You can start the meeting.
Okay, so you don't know who's on.
Mute.
So that just didn't work, he's already muted.
Good. Okay, so we have one in attendance for public. All yours, sir.
Okay, so we'll bring this meeting to order. At
202.
2:02. And we have two items. The business part, the first one is the subdivision. 2023-150 lot 85. And then the second one is the RTN municipal office design and plans. So I guess I can ask for any additional items, but I don't know. Did you guys have anything that was really pressing?
No,
Eddie? Ed,
yeah, I couldn't quite hear that.
did you have anything for additions?
That's
No, I
present.
didn't.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I guess what we'll do with the subdivision, it's in your package there. And Leanne is here as well, so. Did you wanna take us through it? A little bit?
Sure. Yeah, so the applicant is James Mark. He's proposing to subdivide along with two other landowners. Subdivide lot 85, block 5, 9823323 to create three separate parcels. And then subsequently consolidate those three parcels into the 83, 84, 86. So they're proposing the subdivision which will in the end create three separate parcels from what is existing 4 at 0.69 acres. The subdivision has been circulated to adjacent landowners and referral agencies, and those are in your package. We can walk through those as well. The consolidation will create the 3.69 acre parcels, which do exceed the lot requirements within the land use bylaw. that allows for a maximum of 0.45 acres. However, it is worth noting that the existing parcels, all four existing parcels are also currently larger than the maximum parcel size within the R2 district. So we see this is a common theme, especially within that area of the village, where they are larger than the R2 large lot district. However, keeping in mind that any new subdivisions within the existing land use bylaw are to be held to that standard. So the subdivision is in accordance with the IDP. It's also in accordance with the MGP. We've looked at all of the different legislations and policies, the Municipal Government Act, Subdivision Development Regulations, IDP, MDP, and your land use bylaw. Looking through at the technical review from circulation, you had no objections from any of the referral agencies, from utilities, as well as our partners within the IDP. And also not from the adjacent landowners. So a 21-day circulation, which is legislatively required, and we had no concerns or objections to the subdivision. So with all of that considered, there's basically two options here before you. One, that the application for the 3-parcel subdivision from the existing 0.47 acre parcel at 9 Mackenzie Way and subsequently consolidate with 7 Mackenzie Way and 1 and 2 Sarah Crescent to create 3.69 acre parcels as shown on their tentative plan, evaluated by section 654 of the MGA and 7 of the subdivision development regulations, with the following reasons that it could be approved with the following reasons: that it's consistent with the regulations, it is consistent with the IDP, it is consistent with the policies of the MGP. However, it does say in here consistent with the land use bylaw, but if you were to approve it, you would be recognizing that it is inconsistent there. Further, in accordance with the MGA, the following conditions would be applied: that it must be surveyed and registered as by plan of survey. Any outstanding property taxes would need to be paid, and easements for servicing or drainage would be obtained by the Summer Village if necessary. Your second option is to defeat the application and is not consistent with the land use bylaw regarding your parcel size. But as previously stated, those existing parcels are already over the R2 district size. So I, in my professional opinion, don't see any reason why this could not be approved.
Okay, did we want to hear from Mr. Mark?
That would be council's call if you wish for him to speak for 2 to 5 minutes and then close off for you guys to have your discussion. That's up to you guys.
Bob
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
and Ed?
Okay.
Oh, he said Ed. Oh, can you mute him for a second?
Okay, moving. Ed?
Hello.
Is it okay if Mr. Mark has a short 2 or 3 minute comment?
Yes. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay,
Okay, now you can
Yeah, I did. There.
introduce him.
okay, Jim, you have the floor. Can you hear?
I'm quite happy with everything that Leanne outlined there. I think she's right on with that, and we're perfectly satisfied with that. I think she's hit all the concerns that we had, and we would like to see you approve so we can proceed. That's all I have to say, unless you've got some questions.
Have any questions, Ed or Bob?
I have
Yeah.
none.
Yeah, I do a couple, Jim. One is, why do you guys want this extra land?
Well, it's beneficial for each of us. We all three of us have plans to build something on each of the sections that are consolidated with us. And I think in particular lot 86, that particular owner has got some concerns about parking on his lot and wintertime access, and this would solve these problems for him.
What do you mean wintertime access? He's got a driveway.
He's got a driveway, and the way the lot is, his lot is configured right now, he would have to drive to the back of the lot, the east end of the lot, quite a fair distance past the house, and his wife apparently does a fair amount of traveling around locally, and she doesn't look forward to having to clean the driveway for her to get her car out in the morning if it snows.
What about the garage?
But doesn't he park in his garage?
Yeah, he's got a tractor and that sort of thing that he will be parking in the garage at the back of the lot, and they want to build a garage at the front of the lot specifically to allow his wife to park her car there.
There is no garage right now. Jim, there's no garage right now.
There's a garage on 86, yeah, because he's got the deck over top of the garage, right?
No, he actually has no garage right now.
Oh, doesn't? Okay.
On 86, right, either front or back, he has no garage there.
Oh, okay.
Bob, I can probably shed some light onto what the plans are from the original contact with Damian Hebert, and he is at 1 Sarah Crescent, lot 84. So at that time, when he was just inquiring about the subdivision, he provided us with information about the plans. So lot 83 is looking to build a dwelling cabin, I guess, for them. But they're just trying to save some trees, so would like to amalgamate the property and set that cabin farther back. Lot 86 is wanting an extension to his current back deck. He said he doesn't believe without the consolidation of the adjacent property that he would be able to do so with the setback of the existing cabin. And then him on lot 84, he is actually looking for a number of things. But one of them being, he would like to put up a pickleball court and eventually a boat storage garage. And he is maxed out on his coverage in his current location as well.
Does he does 84, does it have a dwelling on it right now?
Yes, it does.
Okay, I'm mixing it up. Maybe is 84 the one that normally has like that?
There's a swimming pool in the front.
Swimming pool up front?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, I'm mixing up 84 and 86. I thought 86 had the swimming pool, so yeah, okay. So it's 84 has the swimming pool out front, right?
that's correct.
Okay, so I guess we can.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, just say thank you to him, and you're going to.
Thanks for your comments, Jim.
I'm sorry, say that again, ask that again.
Thanks for your comments.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay, so that, just an overview, then what it brings us to is we have to decide that it does go against the land use bylaw. For starters. And I think the other part would be financially, we would be taking that lot away for future dwelling. And as far as the assessed value of the lots being larger, there would be no difference on the 3 existing lots. Like a back lot, it is a half acre or more, is assessed value the same as a small lot within the village, like the assessed value it doesn't hardly change, like I have two on Earl's Way that are half acres and they're basically the same as a lot in a small part of the village, so financially, there's no you would possibly be going backwards with the new deal with the IDPs as far as sewer and water, and we're more or less, you know, you could look at it as if we want to keep as many lots as we can, in my opinion. So I guess that's about how I feel, anyway.
I guess I've been giving this a lot of thought, and I'm sort of got a number of things that I've been sort of trying to think about and trying to get my head around. And I guess first of all, does it or does it not benefit the village to do this, right? And I guess my concern is that we do lose one lot for potential revenue and stuff, and if two of the three lots already have a dwelling on it, so that the taxes on those aren't going to go up significantly, maybe a little bit when the one adds the garage or whatever and stuff like that. I guess the second thing that I wonder about is I know that they're already over the land use bylaw, and the land use bylaw changed after these lots were developed, and these were grandfathered in because they want to have smaller lots. Yes, I guess you could say they're already violating the land use bylaw and we could just let them get bigger, but is that violating the spirit of the land use bylaw where it was trying to keep the lots smaller and stuff? So that's what I'm trying to get my head around, you know. I mean, and full disclosure, my lot, I guess, is larger than the land use bylaw, and it was grandfathered in and stuff like that. And I guess the third question I have is, does this set a precedent down the line for other people wanting to do something along this line? And does this set a precedent that we are going to and you know, within a situation, you know, of not wanting to lose a bunch of lots because we're already having some issues as far as expanding the village and stuff, is that this setting a long-term precedent that if other people want to do this, we sort of pretty much would have to allow them to do it too? And is that a good thing? So those are, and those are more questions than answers at this point in time. And if anybody can kind of enlighten me on that, that would help me a lot.
So with the lot subdivision, they're the only other two, I know of two more on Lakeview Avenue. And that would be, they split a lot.
There was this, right?
I know, Brunchins.
Right.
Brunchins is one of them. And so they split a lot, well, that was Creege's at the time, split a lot with the neighbors on 4th Street. Beach access. And the other one was Price's, and that's across from John Adams on Lakefront as well. But that's the only two I know of. And that was, other than Murray Cameron has 2 lots and his cabin's in the middle. But the other part of that is that I do believe it was done before 1980, when the village was actually in the county. I'm pretty sure.
So Leanne, one of his questions was, would it set precedent? What's your thought?
Yeah, well, so I have some comments, I guess, to all 3 of the questions. The first one being, you're right, the land assessment isn't going to change. You're just taking one parcel and splitting it and adding into 3. So your value there isn't different. It's when an improvement is put on the land that you're increasing your tax assessment. So if they build a cabin, if they build a garage, any improvements then they're attached to it, which, like I say, from what I've heard from Damien and from Jim, that is the intention, is to develop these properties. So you're gaining an assessment in the improvement realm. In regards to the increasing the parcels beyond the land use bylaw, if you're setting the precedent. So, you know, the example that Lauren just used, anybody could walk into and purchase two properties adjacent to each other and create the same thing. And the consolidation of a land title is just as simply a form that gets sent into land titles, and the village gets notification of that. So, you know, the consolidation piece is not something that I would think would be a concern for precedent. But also recognizing that there are other instances within the village that this same subdivision has already happened, where they've bought an adjacent property, subdivided it, and consolidated it in with the neighboring parcels, which is what these people are asking to do. I think you're probably not going to see this type of subdivision consolidation happening all the time. So I would think your risk of precedent is pretty low in that regard. Yeah. So like I say, when you look at all things considered, when you're talking about the IDP, this frees up, I guess, one development unit to be applied somewhere else. It gives you that little bit of flexibility, because you are quite tight right now anyway, as we know that from our last subdivision application. I would also say that the thing that's unique about this with the IDP group is that it's not a subdivision of blocks or rows of parcels. It is an infill lot that they're subdividing 3 ways to then consolidate with the adjacent lands. So that's why we got no objections from any of the other municipalities.
Okay,
Ed hasn't commented yet.
Ed, do you have some comments?
Actually, I see nothing wrong with this situation. As long as it's not hurting or nobody's knocking it down, the neighbors or anyone like that. I don't see any issue, and other than that, I don't have any other comments.
Okay. Bob, do you have anything else?
No, I think Jim had his hand up on the screen here. I think he maybe wanted to answer maybe one of my questions. Like there was a hand up on the screen there. I don't know whether that in the Zoom is that. Jim,
Yeah,
did you want to answer one of my questions?
Did you guys want to let him speak again? That is your guys' call. Mr. Mayor.
As long as it's not extended for a long time.
I think a quick answer I'm okay with.
Okay.
Okay, so-
Yeah, I got no problem with it.
Jim, can you hear us?
Yes, yes, I can. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm quite, I think Leanne answered basically what my concern was. I think the idea that the municipality may lose some money on this deal is actually not correct. I think that when the lots, and Leanne knows better than I do, when the lots are consolidated like that, there would have to be some sort of a reassessment of the taxes for the lots, the 3 lots that are made larger, and with the building activity over a short period of time, that will also change the assessment of the lots. Now, I may not be strictly true on that. I don't see why it wouldn't increase the assessment on those 3 lots that will more than compensate for the fact that the lot 85 is a difficult lot to build on because of its location and the height and the trees and the access and that sort of thing. So I think the municipality will actually have a net benefit from what we're proposing.
One other quick question I have for you, Jim, is are you planning on building something fairly soon?
We'll probably build something next year, yes.
Okay, thanks, Jim.
We certainly expect to be paying more, higher assessments simply because we've got more land. I'm not sure exactly how the calculation goes there. Leanne would certainly know. If your lot is bigger, are they not assessed at a higher rate? So reassessing our lots, the 3 lots that are taking up the increase in size, I believe should be totally compensate the loss of an assessment on one single collection of the 3 on lot 5.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you. Said
thanks,
thank
Jim.
you.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Jim.
thanks, Jim.
Thank you. Thanks, Jim.
What is your opinion on that, Leanne, as far as will the assessed value go up slightly because the land is worth a bit more?
Well, the registration of the subdivision and consolidation will automatically trigger your assessors to go out and reassess the properties.
Yeah.
Automatically, it happens every subdivision. Even your new building permits do the same thing. In regards to the increased value because the properties are going up, I think you're probably gonna be, or properties are larger, you're probably gonna be pretty similar because you're taking the square footage of one lot and dividing it by 3 and adding it into others. So I think you're going to, on your land assessment, you're probably a wash, but the triggering of the reassessment will likely make all 3 parcels taxes go up.
Okay. I mean, I guess I'm sort of the opinion, I guess, on this, that yeah, I mean, my thing is I just didn't really want to lose value. The Summer Village to lose, you know, the benefit of tax revenue and stuff from that other lot. But you know, if it's going to go up and if there's going to be more development and stuff and it helps out, then I'm kind of okay with it. It's just I didn't want to sort of lose, you know, $1,000 a year of tax revenue and then never see it again, sort of, you know, that was my concern.
Yeah, but if one person owns lot 86 and the other one right beside and they filled in the forms to consolidate, we would have just got notice. We wouldn't have been notified anyway.
Right.
Other than that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what I would say is we have no fact on assessed value whether the lots are bigger. We don't have anything from the assessor. And then I know where you're coming from, but I still think the village is going to lose on this one. Because if it was left the way it was and you built a cabin on there, you're gonna get a hell of a lot more assessed value than a garage or 2 garages or whatever else. It's a different ballgame, in my opinion, and we don't have a professional opinion from our assessor on that one fact. But I have been told in the past by the assessor, the sizes of lots doesn't really affect. It's what's on the lots.
Yeah. It's the buildings and structures that go on plots, raise the assessment much higher.
Yeah, so that's all I got to bring to the table, I guess, so. We'll have to make a decision on this.
Yeah, your date to have a decision made is the 27th of November, so you have until Monday. So you know, you need to make a decision one way or the other today. Like I say, based on my review of it, I don't see a concern with what's proposed and been applied for. But you do have the option to approve it or to defeat it based on the parcel size and the land use bylaw. That is council's discretion.
Yeah, I guess Yeah, I mean, if you don't really have any objections, Leanne, I guess I'm not sure how I can come up with an objection here. I mean, originally, like I say, I was worried about, you know, the loss of land value. If we do get some structures built, I guess it's going to be, you know, a wash down the line here, and we can use this lot somewhere else down the line, I guess, if hopefully down the line, because we do have the maximum of 505. So, yeah. So I guess, do we want to take a vote on this, or what, Laura? I mean, do you have any other objections right now? I guess we don't really, you know, like I say, as far as the value of it and stuff, we don't have a professional opinion on that right now, right?
No, we don't have time to.
I get that.
And you wouldn't really at this point anyway, until development permits and structures get built or expansion of different buildings. That's when you're going to get the assessed value going up.
So I think we should make a motion and a recorded motion for votes as well.
Okay.
If someone wants to make a motion.
Everyone wants a recorded vote, so we have a request for a recorded vote, so everybody in agreement?
Break it down for a question.
Yeah, request make a recorded vote. 2 seconds. What's the motion gonna be? 1, 2, 3 requests. Okay, recorded vote. Get them all agree to that? No, just, okay.
You don't have to all agree.
Oh, yeah, just as long as we noted that we're doing a recorded vote. Okay. Okay. So,
Someone's gotta make a motion.
yeah, who wants to make the motion?
Well, I guess I'll make a motion that we approve this subdivision change. Or the request to change to allow these the lot 85 to be split into 3 lots.
A motion to send one. Okay. Option 1.
Okay, so
They can get conditions.
I want to say something.
Involve the recommendation. And then just, you have your. She didn't put an answer in the alternative is to read it, but. Accept the recommendations.
Okay, sorry, the recommendation. Recommendation. Subdivision. 23.
One other quick question I have, Leanne, as far as the development here, development down the line has to be approved, right? Anything on development on the lot?
Yep, that's
Because
right, it has to.
The one thing I am opposed to is a pickleball.
Yeah,
we-
development has to be approved in accordance with the land use bylaw, and if there's a request for a variance, it has to come forward to MPC. So yes, it has to be approved.
Yeah, because that would be my only objection, is that I don't really, I'm not big on having pickleball courts on lots, because they're ridiculous. The noise is crazy, right?
okay, so you just need your vote, please.
I vote in favor. Ed?
Ed?
Yes, I vote in favor.
Okay, and I'm opposed.
Okay. So it's carried with 2 approved,
I say, who approved or just to approve to one opposed?
Well, he wanted
No,
it documented,
The
so
names have to go in
the
there.
names have to go in.
Okay, making sure.
It is heard.
Okay, so what we got next is the office RTM. And so, oh, Leanne, did you want to leave the meeting?
Yeah, I don't know what to say, everyone.
You can if you want.
We're just excusing Leanne.
Yep.
Get back to the
Thank you.
village.
We'll get you that.
Sure.
We'll give it to you by Monday.
Yeah, well, yeah, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, yeah, because you're not here tomorrow.
No, we have a meeting tomorrow, so that's something else I gotta get on. We got two things to do.
You got a meeting tomorrow?
Yep.
Yeah. I have our municipal affairs course in the morning, and then we've got our emergency management tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Leanne.
See ya.
All of us are in the emergency management one, right?
Yes,
Okay,
you can either go in through the link Teams there, or you can attend the meeting. It's up to you
yeah, I
guys.
was gonna go with the Teams thing.
Okay,
Okay, so with the RTM, what we did was. So far is the one that came from. Where do you go?
one came from Nelson and one came from Western.
Western Canadian, their Western Canadians was. It didn't meet the land use bylaw because it was too skinny. And the design on the one from Nelson's Homes. Was. The preferable one, in my opinion. I did have. Andrew Spatula look into it this week after we had that last meeting last week. And he's a consulting engineer from Calgary, and he's extensive knowledge on the building practices. So what he did basically was bring us a list of the things that were with Nelson Homes that we were, out of the building codes that we should look at. And so I'm assuming that's what you'll do, Melissa, is talk to IJD about some of this.
What I need from you guys is. We need to get them to do the engineered plans, so we can submit in for our building permits. And that way, we get approval on the engineered plans that they meet all the code requirements as he's listed out.
Yeah,
Because this is going to be sent in, our application will be for a commercial building.
right.
So, yes, all the things he put on there is correct, but that'll be what.
Goes in on
building
the plan.
Yes,
So basically, the square footage, he's named what group it is. And then a few simple things like the exit door must swing outward. And a single exit door is okay, but he missed it. There's two on there, and so did I actually.
yep, there's two. One comes in through the kitchen area with a closet in behind it, which is what I requested. And the other one is into the reception area.
And he also said that the mechanical room fire separation should not be required as per exemption, so. Melissa can give that to IJD. And he also said that panic hardware is not required on a low occupant load. And another thing he said, the placement of the building has to be looked at because of if it gets too close to the old shop or to the shop that we have now, then you may have to make one of the walls on the office fire rated on the outside, and it's quite a big deal to do that. I know it was around $10,000 on the one we had to do with the new shop, because it was too close to the old shop in the hall.
Yeah, and that's why we're getting our engineering firm is doing the borehole sampling today,
Right.
so we can get the site plan organized.
Yeah. And then the biggest thing he was concerned about is handicap standards for the washroom. We didn't think it was big enough. And also, if there's more than, he said, you should run this by IJD too, is to make sure that there's only maximum of 3 people or 4 people working in the office at one time, because if it goes to exceeds 10 people, then you have to have men's and ladies washrooms, and then they both have to be handicapped, and it's a big, take a huge amount of space. So that was his last comment. So, you
Is
know,
is that sort of based on who's working there on a regular basis, or whether or not you have like meetings and stuff there?
no, it's on a regular basis.
Occupancy regular, not the meetings. The meetings that would have no relevance. It's your day to day.
I mean, there's no way you're gonna have 10 people working there, right? I mean, it's not big enough.
No. But we have to make sure that the IJD understands that.
Okay,
That's the thing that was brought up. And then also the existing washroom isn't big enough for handicap. So.
Yeah. well, that could be pushed
Perhaps-
out a little bit into the reception area if it needs to be, right?
Well, either that or else you could put a couple feet on the end of the building or something to compensate. I don't know, whatever Nelson comes up with.
Now, that's why this is just a preliminary, because they need to know what your approval is, if this is, and then they will move this preliminary concept plan into an engineered plan.
Yeah,
And that's what I need approval for, and that's where the money's gonna start flowing.
yeah. And so what we have to do is, in my opinion, anyway, give them some leniency to make it bigger if they have to. If the washroom's gonna be a big deal, and if you guys think you need it bigger, by all means,
So,
you know, not huge, but. And it's, another thing is, I forgot, is that, Matt up at, Nelson Homes, Melissa had the. You know, the rough quote, so that it was, could be put on piles or could be put on a basement or half a basement or whatever else. So that's the other part of the equation. And I guess the storage of water is a big deal, because
Yeah.
store a water tank, we gotta have it on either a separate building attached that's heated, or on a concrete slab, or else if we put half a basement underneath the outfit, if we're allowed, if it allows us the elevation, that we could put the water tank in the basement of the office, which is probably the most ideal. I don't know.
It all depends on these boreholes and everything that's going on, is because I wanna make sure, no matter what we do, whatever foundations are gonna work, we can always make water, we can always make sewer fit within the foundations. And concepts based on the sampling and the site.
Yeah,
So my more concern is getting these engineered office drawings and so we can start applying for our permits and make sure we get everything in play before we start to build.
yeah, and that decision can come back later. So what the quote, ballpark quote on this one from Nelson was. Around
$300,000.
$300,000.
That's a high ballpark. That's giving your contingency and giving a little extra, okay? It doesn't mean it's gonna be that. It's just preparing.
Yeah, yeah. And so I think it's right, like, as soon as we get into it, then you can decide whether you want a tin roof on it or what kind of siding or whatever else. But this will use up that grant money from decision today. So that we're not gonna get it clawed back because we have. What, 260,000 or something.
We need to spend 300,000, that's all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say.
Yeah. So if we don't spend it, we're gonna lose it.
Yeah.
And we just need, I think it's a good thing. The guys were out there boring holes today.
Yeah.
And I went to see them a couple of times. They were working on the third one, the one that was closest to the. Out kind of close to the road. By the outhouse there.
Mhm.
That was just absolutely full of water. Like he said, there was a lot of water in there. He was really surprised. So then the second one he did towards the playground by the bulletin board there in the corner in the parking lot. And that was a good hole. There wasn't any water at all in there, and it was looking promising. They're going down 30 to 40 feet, so they know exactly what's going on. And then the one he was working on when I left to come to town was at the entrance, the man entryway to the dumpsters. And I give him the history of what was there before, and he said it looks pretty good there too. Like he was surprised, but it was gumbo, and then he kept on going down and it was getting better. But I didn't, so he'll have all the reports. He's got another 2 to do. One in the parking lot of the office.
Yep.
And there's another one pinpointed somewhere. I think there's another 2 to do.
There's 2 along there, because that's what we're looking at is. If we located the office where the dumpsters are, what was that gonna look like? If the dumpsters get moved, what would that look like? So we've got like 3 different locations that we can play around with for either office or dumpsters. Is what I'm looking at. That's what the sampling is about, to get that plan.
Mhm.
Yeah. So was there any questions, Ed or Bob?
Yeah, so I guess today we want to, the thought is that we approve the money to be as a deposit on an office to Nelson Homes, just to use up the grant money, and then we can play with the design a little bit down the line here if need be. I guess that's I guess my understanding. And then the second thing is so we're using up this grant money. There's a fair bit more grant money available for next year for the pad or the basement and stuff like that, right?
This one, the one that we're using up now is just goes to 2018.
2018, right? Yeah. So we've got like 5 more years worth of grant money to do the other part, right?
There's lots.
Yes. But I'm hoping to fit everything within this 300,000 if I can. No guarantees, but I am going to work hard to make sure that we're trying to stay within that 300,000.
Well, that's good, but it also has to be done so that we're making sure we have adequate space and we're not skimping away on foundation or anything, because it's important to do it right. Otherwise, you're gonna have to do something like, in my opinion, like I've always do it right the first time and you're done with it.
I agree.
Yes.
No, I just want to make sure that we're financially in good shape to do it properly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we are. For sure. Ed, did you have any?
No, I guess we just gotta find out where we want to put it, number one, in my mind.
Yeah.
We will
I
get
mean, we gotta
that.
spend, we've gotta spend the money anyway, so.
Yeah, it's getting down to D-Day on that for sure.
I'm working as fast as I can, guys.
Well, it's not your
So
fault.
are we looking for like a motion to say that we want to approve the remainder of that grant money to be a deposit to Nelson Homes on a ready to move structure, office structure?
Well, you guys did a motion already.
I think it was 250 or
We did
240.
249,000 for a ready to move RTM building for the new office building for the MSI capital grants. That was your motion. What I'm looking for is approval to enter into a contract with who out of these two, Nelson Homes, to proceed with the RTM building of a new office.
I'll make that motion.
Perfect.
And it's nothing to do with you, how this is going, because that Alberta government, the notice they give on us and other municipalities, because they're getting rid of the MSI,
Yes,
is absolute bullshit, because we never had enough notice. They could have given us another year, but they never.
yeah. I'm gonna work on stuff with that, but at least this way I know now I'm going to Nelson Homes. You've approved for me to proceed with that, so now I'm gonna get her done. I need those engineer plans built.
Yeah. Are you guys all in favor of that? All in favor?
Yeah, I'm in favor.
Yeah, I'm in favor. I'm in favor.
Okay. So
Yay.
I guess that's it then. So I adjourn the meeting.
Okay,
And don't forget about that meeting tomorrow at 10 o'clock at the county.
Yeah, I'll be on Zoom or